Three. All right, and 3, 2, 1. What's up, Stick Squad? Today we are talking that stick. Week 4 of the PLL season is all finished. Teat and The Atlas kick up on the Waterdogs. The Whipsnakes almost pull it off versus the Cannons. JB10 is back, and so are the Denver Outlaws. And the Carolina Chaos are chaotic. We got Will from Chandler Sports Network joining us today. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about. Make sure you guys give us some love on Spotify, X, Twitter, YouTube, whatever the hell you guys give us love on. But without further ado, let's get into it.
Go big plays. Tied up, splits the double with 8. She's going to get a shot off. He's got it. Are you kidding me?
Yes, sir. We are back with another episode of Stick Talk. It is your boy Scotty. I'm with Shane, Brian, and Will from Trailer Park Sports Network. Guys, how we doing today?
Chilling, big chilling.
Great, brother.
It's hot down here, dog. It's hot down here, dog.
Where you at?
I'm in Bama.
Hey.
Oh, you in the South? Yeah,
Boy.
Different heat, dog. It was.
That's that heat
90,
you can see when you go outside, bro. You open the door and you can see the humidity.
You walk outside and you just get wet, just like walking out.
This type of heat has me confused, and the type of sunlight that has me confused because I'm like, I'm hot, but I don't want to get any darker, so I start wearing long sleeves.
That's crazy. Embrace it, brother. Embrace it. Don't let me call you know who on this podcast. Tell you what's up. You already know who I'm talking about.
I know. I got a watch tan and everything on my wrist. Yeah, it's crazy out here. But I just, sometimes I'd be feeling like Diggs and be feeling a little light skin. It's all right. But speaking of light skin, let me give Will some light right now. Will, tell the listeners who you are. Give them your moment.
Man, all right. I'm Will from Trailer Park Sports Network, and the whole trailer thing is not like a lie. I'm sitting in a single wide trailer in between a cornfield and a cotton field right now. I guess like this is something I wanted to do forever. Talk about. I'm a big sports guy. I could be underwater basket weaving. If it's competitive, I'm there. I'm there, dog. Also, I've been watching curling and like paddle and like random stuff. I've watched sports that you probably didn't even know existed. Big sports guy, got into lacrosse. My friend put me on when I was in middle school. Was like a casual observer, and like it was when Sowers was at Duke was when like I really locked in. The first players I watched were the Thompsons at Albany. That's when I came in. Was like Thompsons were at Albany.
What a great
Matt Cavanaugh was at Duke, or Matt Cavanaugh was at Notre Dame, not Duke, and Miles Jones was at Duke.
Yeah,
and I rock with Miles.
I say that's a great time.
It was like the perfect time to come.
That's a great time to start watching.
It just sucks because I was like the reason I never played, and everyone's like, "Dude, why did you just not play?" Because I was already really good at baseball and really good at football. So I was like, "Why would I pick up something when I'm already like on a path to at least play D2 football?" And then I didn't end up playing D2. I played NAI, but it's essentially the same thing, dog. Like after D1, bro, it's essentially all the same thing.
What position did he play in football?
Slot. That's why I like lacrosse, because like I can put the concepts that I know into guys like Mike. Like I can watch Michael Sowers and I can be like, oh, okay, I've done this exact same thing, but with a DB in front of me, and you just did it. You just did it on a football field, or you just did it on a lacrosse field. Like that's why I like watching attackmen, but I also like watching like your short stick D mids because they don't slide their feet.
That's an interesting insight. That's an interesting insight.
It's like if more of those short stick D mids hooped, I guarantee they wouldn't get cooked the way they get cooked sometimes. Because you would slide your feet and you're gonna beat them to the spot, and then you still have that lateral quickness to recover and get back, or you can backpedal weave it like in football, where like deep, where like how I know where I'm going, but you don't, so you would just weave me until I open up one way or the other, and then you just open up with me.
maybe you got a point there because you watch these athletes who play football and are DBs play D mid at an elite level. So hey, those
Some things translate.
skills translate big time.
And you can see with like JB this weekend, he just gets to his spots whenever he wants to because he's used to beating people that are probably a little bit more athletic than what he's playing against right now.
Yeah,
because I would say like a DB, like you play in the NFL, dog. I was just assuming NFL DB is a little bit more athletic than like a pole in the PLL. It's no disrespect to any poles in the PLL; they're also very athletic, but NFL DB is in the NFL for a reason.
Now, Will, you got on Legends right now?
Yeah, or 18.
Hey,
K18
let's go.
sent this to me. Yeah, K18.
That's what's up.
K18 already was in
big
here.
fan.
He was in the chat. Let's go. He's a man.
He's a man. He's good people, man. Really good people.
That's Uncle Goat.
That's facts. That's facts.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I didn't know people in Alabama were legends, but all right, say that. And next question, biggest question of them all: who's the best basketball player of all time?
Man, I'm gonna go Mike, bro.
Wow.
I like Bron, bro. I love Bron. I love him. I do. But like, I guess I'm gonna just go Mike, man.
Congratulations, you play.
But like, I'm not. Like, here's the thing, though. I'm not a big like hoops fan. I really don't care for hoops. Like, I really don't. That's why I just reserve. I don't like to get into the argument. It's one that like I feel you can't even have the argument around anyway. Eras, the different eras. I feel like there's only one true GOAT, and that's Wayne Gretzky. Everybody else is too much up for debate. That's
wow.
On that though.
Wayne Gretzky.
Hey, Will might be
that's my only GOAT.
Wayne Gretzky.
That's like the only one where I say like you're the definitive greatest to ever play your sport is Wayne Gretzky. You have your arguments in other places, like you've got like Tiger in golf.
I think Tiger's that's pretty unanimous. Nobody's
you know what I'm saying? Like I would say he's also like the GOAT when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't get into the argument. I just say like there's too many like side factors with different eras, rules, as the game evolves. You were just the best player in your era type deal. Or like maybe you were playing the next era's game and everybody else just hadn't caught up to you yet.
Yeah. I get it.
Okay.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. How old are you, Will?
I'm 23.
Young cat.
Yeah.
Saying Michael Jordan. It feels nice not to be the youngest guy on the podcast. It feels really good. Feels really good. But
I love Bron, man. Like he got us a ring. I'm a Cavs fan. He got us a ring. That was awesome. But like, I don't know.
It's all right, man. I mean, eras is hard to compare to one another. But speaking of eras, one of the best players in today's era, Jeff Teat, went off in his game this weekend. Jeff Teat and the Atlas. I saw that shirt, Brian. Jeff Teat and the Atlas kick up on the waterdogs. End up winning this one 17-9.
Damn.
God. And it's funny because a lot of people were talking almost down on Jeff Teat because he wasn't doing Jeff Teat numbers that we had last year, which people got used to so fast, man. Listen, that's like expecting Kobe to drop 80 every single night, man. Like, nah, it's not going to happen. But Jeff Teat, he had 1, 6, 1, and then he had 8. That man is still averaging like 4 a game, man. He's still doing what he's doing. Like, let's understand that. And the Atlas calm down the haters with this one. What do you got to say about this one, Brian? I see you with your Upstate Bulls stuff on.
Got the Upstate Bulls team. Shout out former podcast guest Matt Shaler sent that to me. That's the homie. You said it in the precursor, man. Everybody was yapping like, oh, Jeff Teat, the Atlas, this, and this, and it's like it's kind of like with college lacrosse season where it's like if everybody's gonna say everybody is mid, it's that first couple weeks where when we do the picks and we're talking about his vibes the first few weeks, we don't know, rosters are still changing and teams are still figuring it out. The Atlas needed a couple weeks to figure everything out because most of the team is still the same. Last week when they lost to the Whipsnakes, the best short stick D-mid that we just talked about, Will was just talking about, Danny Logan in the league, was hurt.
Yeah.
Hardest position on the field, argue with your mama, is playing short stick D-mid. When he didn't play, that threw off their entire defense. He was back this week. I'll take Danny Logan at 80% over pretty much every other D-mid in the league. So the defense is doing what they're supposed to do, hold a pro team to 9 goals. The offense is still going to be the offense. Like, just like you said, it's you said Kobe, but it's like the LeBron thing where you become so desensitized to greatness when it's a couple of times where you just have like a normal game. It's Jeff, you only had a 1-point game. Shelly had like 7-8 points last week. Like that's their offense, right? That's their offense.
Yeah, they don't need to.
He
doesn't need to be the guy.
Exactly, they have a bunch of ballers. So it's like when they all doing what they're supposed to do, and the defense is locked in. That's what we're gonna get from the Upstate Bulls.
Which is crazy because he only was the team leader by 2 points, and he had 8. Brian Costabile was me and Brian were actually FaceTiming for a part of this game, just talking about Brian Costabile. We were just like, well, here we go. Brian already got hot early.
You get one or the other.
Yeah, he got hot early. Here we go. Where you're gonna see him
angry too, man.
Oh, everything about his whole shot mechanics, everything about what he does is so violent.
Violence, bro.
It's so violent. It's great. It's incredible to watch, but it's like, damn, I know your back hurt. I know your back hurt.
You got scoliosis after this game.
I know your back hurt. I know you, Sydney. You gotta ice that whole thing after the game because you be shooting it like somebody call you something out your name. Yet like it's crazy. I respect it though, but the fact that Jeff Teat had 8 points and Brian Costabile had 6 points, like that is a recipe for success. And then the kid from Drexel, Reed Bowering, that is a dog. That's a dog.
We're gonna leave out Liam. We're gonna leave out Liam in net. We're gonna leave out Liam. The dude's a brick wall.
Yeah, he was locked.
The kid's locked. Dude, for you to be in your second year, getting close to the saves record.
Yeah.
Like you're what? He had 22. I think the
22 went 71%.
Yeah. Blaze said
25 is the racer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, you're 3 off in your second year. The kid's electric. Love to watch him.
And he can do that every week. That's not even certain.
It's just a consistency. He's Blaze did it, and then
yeah, we're
watching Liam do this week by week. Like
yeah.
Like an off game for Liam is like 50%. And it's
you bring up an interesting point. Well, like let's have this conversation right now. Is Liam Entenmann the best goalie in the PLL right now?
It's him or Brett Dobson. I argue with people all the time. Take the names out of it. Is Brett the battle over the next like 5 to 7 years is between Brett Dobson and Liam Entenmann. CJ Curses is going to be up there. All the curse names.
Oh my God!
It's like 7 cursed. It's a lot of curses up there. I'm sorry. And Colin Curse is he's going to be in the running, but like Will just said, Liam Entenmann's low is Blaze. We saw what Blaze's low is when he's not playing well. Will just said it right. I think that's the differentiation right there.
Like an off day for Liam feel like a pretty good day for other guys.
Yeah. Live comment from Beard God Cooks. He says yes to if Liam Entenmann is best goalie in PLL. It's a hard one. You're splitting hairs right there between Liam Entenmann and Brett Dobson. Only time will tell. It's I don't know. Interesting though because the goalie we're not naming, one had a rough week, but the other part of it is that he's like the goalie of the year for the past 5 years, but we're already putting these two above him.
Which is fine, but what does Brett Dobson have the last 2 of? The championship MVP.
I will say for Brett Dobson, I think Brett Dobson is much greater consistently.
Yeah.
He is way more consistent than both of those two. Because even we'll get to this game too, but even Brett Dobson went 55% in a loss. Like he still did. 55% is still pretty damn good for a goalie. That's not bad in the PLL for the amount of shots that guy's taking. for sure is pretty damn good. But I think in terms of just overall consistency, when Blaze Reardon is on, there's no question.
Yeah.
There's no question. When Liam Entenmann is on, he makes a great argument. But I don't think we've ever had to wonder if Brett Dobson is going to be on. He's usually on.
Like
Just
I'd trust him. Like any given day, I trust him.
Yeah.
Other times you gotta like weigh the options. Like who we playing against?
Yeah.
You know?
But Brett, we
He's
go
that
with
guy.
Brett.
No,
He's that dude. He's
like
100% that dude.
Big Baller Bev says Atlas really looked like themselves last weekend.
Oh yeah,
and that's so true. The Atlas,
To me, I feel like they look like a team that was pissed off about the game that they didn't finish the week before that. They just didn't finish, and they realized, whenever we get late in this game, we are going to finish this game.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. They closed it out.
Yep. What did they say during because Scotty, you were at the game. They were saying on the broadcast 48 minutes. That was their mantra going to the game, play a full 48 minutes, and they did.
They did.
Leaning over the goal, that defense.
Yeah, over to the Lady Fans, and it's crazy because we saw this in the next game here. The Boston Cannons hold off the Whipsnakes 13-12 here. Now, I thought this game was about to be over before the end of the game here. The Whipsnakes surge in the fourth quarter here. I think they ended the game on a 4-0 run. Okay, They went on a surge. I'm not talking about Serge Ibaka.
Why would you go for Serge Ibaka?
That's a crazy pull.
Whole other
That's
surge
an interesting pull.
A surge in Serge Ibaka.
Yeah, we know, but there's a whole other surge in the league too.
And I'm not talking about ASAP Serge. I'm talking about Serge Ibaka. But anyway, Boston Cannons hold off the Whipsnakes 13-12 here, man. Crazy game because in that fourth quarter, I really thought the Whipsnakes might make a statement here and come back here. Big game.
They could have. They had to get rid of two people, though, in order for them to do well.
Here you go.
They got to get rid of two people in order for them to do well. I mean, what I made this statement earlier in this season, and every week I get proven right. Every week.
Bro,
every week. I don't care. I don't care that Rob Pennell got his is on the record list. I don't care. I don't care. You passing the ball to PLL shooters. What am I supposed to be impressed? He come on. He gave the ball to Colin Heacock. What are we talking about? You think I'm supposed to be like, oh wow, it was a great pass? Okay. These are simple passes, but this man still goes 0 for 6.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, but this might be one of the better games for him, where he turned the ball over once. He had 3 assists, and
I hope a professional had a good game.
He also,
I would low key hope like a professional of his caliber is not turning the ball over multiple times.
Well, the precedent.
Will's right though, because if one of your thing is he only had one turnover, like this is what
you know what I mean. I feel like that's a bad. I feel like that's a bad standard to set right there. Well, he only had the one. Well, he's dude. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I mean, he's the one with the ball the most up. That's why I'm like just being devil's advocate here. But he had the ball the most.
Therein lies the problem, though.
He shouldn't. Which you guys are right. He shouldn't have the ball the most.
Bro.
But guys, like he quarterbacked that offense, and it didn't end up bad. Yeah, he missed the net 6 times, but he got 3 assists.
He's been missing the net.
You know what? I guess we're taking the good with the bad.
I guess
because the next game they done switched it up a little bit, and look what happened.
No, but Rob was playing in the next game.
I mean, he did, but Rambo is the one.
And Rambo was barely in game 1.
Yeah, trash too.
Yeah,
Rambo was barely in game 1.
Yeah,
but we know
I'm
what
looking
happened
for my
later.
Elmers. I'm looking for my Elmers. I'm looking for my Gorilla Glue.
Even glue brands, bro. That's crazy.
Bill, send the horse to the glue factory. It is time. We're gonna wait for the rest of the year. You're gonna wait.
No, man. Let him ride off into the sunset, man. Let's let him have that little victory lap. There's
too many players in in the player pool right now who can give buckets for us to be sitting here acting like this is like Rob Pennell and Matt Rambo are some Make-A-Wish kids that we're just holding up and saying here.
Man, we can get into that part. Look,
I mean,
we can get into that part later. We can for sure get into that part later because
I'm just saying. There are so many other good players out there. We gave Levi a look, and now what happened? We gave Levi a look.
At 6 points.
They ain't going to sit out Levi again. We're not even on that game yet, Shane.
It doesn't matter. He's on the team. I'm just saying.
Let's cross that bridge when we get to it.
Slow your roll. But listen, I'm trying hard to look at it from the other side here. Let's look at Rob's production here. His production point-wise has consistently gone up, man. I feel like he's starting to kind of figure out his role, okay? And hopefully, if Staggs is keeping him in, we know Staggs is about everything, is about only the result. He's not keeping him in just to keep him in. There's a reason why Staggs is doing this. If you ever question Staggs' goal, that's a problem with you. Staggs is all about winning. And if this all-pro Hall of Famer is having a hard freaking time and is sucking, Staggs is going to take him out. A matter of fact, he took out who he built his team around, essentially, Matt Rambo. And he actually sat him the same weekend that is at his hometown, that is where he went to school. Staggs doesn't care. All he wants to do is win. And I'm telling you, if it ever gets to a point where Staggs is like, nah, you're not good enough, he's going to take him out. So just give him some time, bro. If Pennell's playing good,
how many weeks we got to give him, dog?
No, exactly.
How many weeks we got to give him, man?
What you mean? They just won last week. They just won.
It doesn't matter. You lost it. Listen to me. I need you to pay attention.
You lost
real
a very
quick.
winnable game.
Here's the problem with your statement. You got Rob Pennell going 0 for 6 in a game that they lost by 1. You're telling me that he was the best option. He is, by the way, tie or second on the team for touches on that game. Second on the team behind who they really need to, who they've already clearly said it's TJ Malone's team. It's TJ Malone's team. Second on the team for touches, 0 for 6. You're telling me that there is not that Levi Anderson wouldn't have given you at least 2 buckets in that game?
No, I agree. Levi is an answer that needs to be in the game. But I don't think like Levi replaced Rambo. Like Levi's not replacing Pennell.
He should.
How is he going to replace 2 people, Shane? You're about to make that man.
Guess what?
Look, man,
In terms of production,
while he still got
based off of their production, he could replace both of them. Because they both went over. They both didn't score a single goal. So one person could replace both of them.
I
so I'm tired. I'm already tired of talking about both of them. Let's talk about the team that actually won.
Look at Nolting, man.
That's 29 touches.
Look at that guy, man.
He did it in 29 touches.
That's pretty
like
crazy.
That guy. You know what I mean? He's like
another dude.
Escalade.
He's like Escalade.
Escalade.
You don't have that pull. That's a ball number pull right there.
Yeah, that's a real ball number.
Definitely real accurate. Before he was born.
Dude, we were watching the game, getting kind of mad. We're like, dude, just feed the hot hand, bro. Just let him go to work, dog. He's finding the open dude. Just let him go to work.
What are they gonna do? Stop work?
Nah.
What are they gonna do? Stop him? They can't.
Yeah, exactly. Just let him go to work until they figure it out, bro. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Until they figure it out, just let him go to work.
You've been doing that since High Point.
Yeah,
but boy still can't figure it out.
If you're a Cannons fan, that's peak offense. Because again, doing it on 29 touches, I feel like that's sustainable.
That's
where
crazy.
it's because he had a slow start to the season, similar to Jeff Teat, and you had those whispers because whenever any great player, God forbid, has like 3 or less points in the game, everybody thinks they're terrible. But that's sustainable offense for the Cannons because Matt Campbell had a good game. They got to get Marcus Holman jump started, but it's the same thing kind of with the Atlas offenses. You have so many dudes where it's like somebody can take a step back, and the same thing, they play good defense. That Owen Grant has been spectacular for them to start the season.
Man, I'm watching Owen Grant play, and I'm like, damn, he's nasty.
He's disrupt. He's a free safety, dog, and he's athletic. And I just watch him roam the field, and he's just like a new wrinkle that he puts. And they already had a good defense, but he adds that new wrinkle. And then again, Colin Kirst is back there. They have really good goalie play, and that's a sustainable thing. I still have right now no idea who the best team in the East is. But again, if you watch that Kansas game, you're like, yeah, they might be one of those teams by the end of the season.
You know who else played well in this game? You know, the Kirst played well. Connor Kirst played well in this game, man.
Best game of the season.
You know where he went to college too, right?
All right, so you gonna count? You gonna talk about that 1 year before his other prior years of Illinois?
No, we're just talking about Rutgers, dog.
I thought he went to Kane. My fault.
Nah, son. I was the first pro out of Kane. Anyway, they Connor Kirst looked good. Man, it's so funny when you watch these guys play and you're like, this guy was a lights out shooter in college, and then when they get to the PLL, some of them get turned over to a D mid, and then you forget that they were like that. Because when he was on the Whipsnakes, his role was primarily just playing defense, being a D mid. That's what it was. And I'm glad that Coach Holmans can see that this dude could play both sides of the ball easily, and he has a hell of a shot. Shane always says it: 100 miles per hour is 100 miles per hour. Don't matter who it's coming from, it's 100 miles per hour. And that boy Connor Kirst had cannon. No
man.
Yeah,
hey,
he had a game.
You know who else had a game that I was really impressed with? Coulter Mackesy.
Coulter Mack is too easy.
People got to chill. People can people finally chill with complaining about why Will Manny wasn't playing over Coulter Mackesy? Because all things considered, you got to go with the 23-year-old over the 35-year-old. I'm just saying.
He's 35
in his
for real?
mid-30s. I got you. I understand.
You got to.
Is he 35 for real?
I think something like he's mid-30s, and again, it's someone in my mid-30s. I understand, bro. Will's that age, right?
I'm gonna take the young guy that can develop versus the dude that's already developed. Because like Coulter Mackesy nowhere near his peak. I mean, like he's just gonna continue to get better. You might as well develop this dude while you can, instead of like letting him sit on the bench and lose confidence. You might as well just like throw him to the fire, bro. He'll figure it out.
And he did.
Let me tell you something, bro. Coulter Mackesy shot the ball at this game, bro. It hit the net, and I flinched because it was so damn loud, bro. Like that boy can let it fly. And the other part about the Will Manny thing too is that Will Manny posted on his Instagram that like there's that he has a baby coming to him. So
that was correct. We talked about that a few weeks ago. Okay.
In July, a baby coming to him in July 2025. So it might not even be that deep. Maybe we just as across people.
He's not worried about this right now.
Yeah,
he's a grown man with grown man business going on.
Exactly. Right. So they're handling it the best way they can. And
Will Manny's 33.
You got to realize, and I think folks forget these are pro athletes. At the end of the day, they can handle getting put on the bench for a little while. They can understand it. I got put on the shelf for some 23-year-old. That okay, cool.
It is what it is.
I know exactly how good I am, and whenever y'all need me, I'll be right here. Just like a professional athlete supposed to be. I'll be right here.
Well, Manny, stay ready. He's gonna be ready when they
call him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we know that. We know that.
Oh, yeah.
He got a hat trick right now.
Yeah.
Like in the tank. Just let him go.
Ready. Yeah, he's locked in.
Nah, yeah. Whenever he's back, he's gonna do his thing.
That's a good problem to have, man. If you're a Kansas fan, like we got Will Manny back there too, just in case.
Just in case.
We're gonna do his thing when he comes back. But speaking of back, JB10 is back, dude. And so are the Denver Outlaws. Watching this boy JB10 play, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm time traveling now. Shane said it himself. He was like, yo, it ain't gonna be week 1, it might not be week 2, but hey, well, later in the season, he's gonna figure it out. He's gonna be a lacrosse player. And this weekend he proved he was a lacrosse player. JB10 had 5 points, 4 goals, 1 assist. Now, Shane, I'm being really nice to you today. I don't know what's up with you. Maybe it's the wine. I don't know what's up with me. Maybe it's the wine. But, dude, you say you can't go scoreless in a quarter. What the hell went wrong with these Utah Archers, dog?
I'll tell you what went wrong. Logan McNaney. That's what went wrong.
Difference maker.
It's a difference. I mean, 61%, 16 saves. That's a difference maker. I mean, you make a couple. The thing about the PLL is so interesting is that if you make We're not even going to talk about like set plays, or we're not talking about the schematics defensively. We're talking about 2 roster adjustments. For most people, most teams, you are 2 roster adjustments away from winning more than 7 games. Perfect example. 2 roster adjustments away last year for the Waterdogs would have meant that they wouldn't have been a first-round team to get the draft this year. If they had had a Fogo in the first 6 games, who knows how good they could have been. To lose how many games? I think 4 out of the 6 games they lost by a goal. And I think 2 of them were because we came directly from the faceoff. In the PLL, everybody is so damn good that they are 2 roster adjustments away. And the change from Owen, McElroy, Crackeroy to Logan McNaney.
What the hell were we waiting for?
Should have put him in week 2. I thought he was going to play after that stinker in week 1.
Stinker.
As a Woods fan, I'm happy they didn't put him in. I'm very because we lit McElroy up. That was fun. That was great to watch.
That was great.
That was awesome.
Logan McNaney is
McNaney should have been in.
We know.
I think JB should have been running through X the whole time. But at the same time, it took him a little minute to get back to playing the game the way that he's been getting to his spots though. I felt like he was due. Like he's been week 1 or the first week that he played, he was really 4 inches away from a hat trick.
Is that 4 cumulative inches? He hit a pipe. He had a couple that weren't even close. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Yeah, he had a couple that were
that could have fallen. I'll give you that.
I hate that shit, dog.
What?
But if a couple inches, my ass, dog. That's my college career in a jiffy. If I fucking
That was Doug's talking in the Stick Talk group me, which by the way, if you are not in the group me, you need to get on the group me. We talk a lot of stick on that. We're very uncensored, unfiltered.
Shane and I look alike,
apparently me and Brian have the same haircut. Apparently.
I mean, almost.
Almost, I guess.
Just about.
2 weeks after Scotty said I had the Prince Akeem coming to America hair.
But hey, anyway, it's you got to get on that chat. But Guggs was over here talking about, oh yeah, you almost hit the air gate, and I'm like, almost. That what did the almost count for? Did they count for half a goal? Did they change the rules? Because all I know is that JB went scoreless in that first game, and I expected him to go scoreless. And I told you, if you go back in the archives, like Scotty said, I said it ain't gonna happen in first game, but he's gonna figure it out because he's got the speed, he's got the separation, he's got all this stuff. But the stick skills,
in his hand in 4 years,
and you can see that, and that's why I was like, nah, he's not gonna be that good in his first. But here we are with 5 points, 4 goals, 1 assist. 34 touches, went 50% on shooting. That's what it's about right there. Yeah, that's what it's about right there.
That's what he's capable of doing every single week.
Because at the end of the day, he's a tour time winner.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, he's sitting there burning like Graham Hossick. He's just sitting there burning him.
Boy,
he got those skinny ankles, yo. And I was looking at his legs during the game. I was like, damn, bro, that boy be moving, bro.
When I watch him, it's like watching a slot receiver just go to work. He just knows
that's exactly what he is.
His position?
Exactly what he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Will brought up Graham. Dude, I was watching Graham cover Brennan O'Neill.
He had that boy. He had Brendan O'Neill upside down, bro. He had him
lost.
But just watching those two play against each other, like two behemoths play against each other, dog, and person, I'm like, damn, that's
Brennan's a big dude.
Brennan's a big versus Hulk, bro.
Both of them, those are dudes that like their size translates to other sports. Like those is like because that's what I wanted to ask y'all. Is it the Outlaws won or did the Archers lose that game? Because the way that they played, I'm like, yo, they're about to stomp the Outlaws. Graham Hossick's playing excellent defense on arguably the best offensive player in the league. And I'm like, yo, they about to watch these dudes. And then
Utah lost that.
They're so frustrating to watch, the Archers, because it's like same thing. We talk about all this talent, and it's like Captain America cooking. Then it stretches where Captain America don't touch the ball for 4, 5, 6 possessions, and they start playing hero ball, and then they took themselves right out of the game. And Outlaw said, okay. Because I'm watching that game, I'm like, if I'm an Archers fan, I am pissed. I got the Arthur meme. I'm holding my fist like this, like I'm so angry watching their offense.
I think you hit the nail on the head, though. I think the Archers lost that game more than the Outlaws won that game. And
you got comfortable.
Yeah, you got comfortable, and you thought that the goals were going to come easy. And sure, maybe on Owens McElroy, sure, you could have done that. But
you got to close games out.
But Logan McNaney with Luke Wehrman taking faceoffs, yeah, I was going to be a tough sell. On top of the fact, if you even
actually try and close out games, you can't just get comfortable. You're playing against professional athletes, dog. You cannot just get comfortable. These dudes are just as good, if not better, than you. And they will remember. They will also remember how to put the ball in the net too.
Yeah, they don't forget just because you're trying to come back.
This is also one of the reasons why I love the PLL too, because regardless of your lead, there's a 2-point line, bro, and that lead could get shorter any second, bro. I love
no lead is safe.
2-point line, bro. Mm-hmm. And that shot clock forcing you to make a move.
Mm-hmm. What's interesting though is if you look at the stats, like for the Outlaws, you got Pat Cavanaugh with 56 touches, Jared Bernhardt 34, Logan Wisnauskas with 33. There's folks in this stat sheet that clearly got the ball and wanted the ball. When you look at the Archer stat sheet, it's the high, you got 30, you got 29, and then you've got 25, and then everybody else is in the teens. Mm-hmm. You don't have the same number of guys who want the ball or touching the ball. And you're like, I'm all for unselfish lacrosse. Oh yeah, I'm all for it. But at the same time, in this league, bro, and this is the exact reason why y'all hear me hate on Peyton Cormier, you need to be somebody that can take their man and beat their man and decide to do that at a moment's notice. You got to be able to just say, hey, give me the ball. I'm about to go to work.
Everybody in the Archers offense can do that, though. That's what's frustrating with watching them play. I'm watching this game. I'm like,
are they might be a little. They might be a little too unselfish, yo.
That's the problem. You need to be somebody who's like, give me the ball. I'm about to do it.
That Mamba mentality, dog.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah.
You think we're gonna go one-on-one? You think you're gonna like guard me one-on-one? Nah.
Line up.
You're gonna hate guarding me.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you hate guarding me. Yeah. To where next time we play against each other, coach puts somebody else on me, and I'm gonna make them hate guarding me.
Like, what did Brian say?
That's what Sowers be doing.
Scotty, what did Brian say when we were talking about Heritage Cups? He said, "I'm gonna make you lose the love for the game."
I'll make you lose the love for the game, bro.
I was like,
I love that.
That was a tough. He said that's just so smooth. I was like, it fired me. I got chills when he said it. It fired me up. But you need somebody like that. You need somebody who's like, yeah, I'm about to make you rethink your whole career choice right now, bro.
Yo, I forget.
That investment banking job's about to sound real good in about 30 seconds.
What NBA player? There's a video of an NBA player, he a white dude, but he was talking about how when he would go to open gyms, like all the dudes would be like, oh, I'm going to cover him.
Scalabrini.
And he was like, all right, it's going to be hell.
No. Oh, that's Austin Reeves.
That's Reeves. It's gonna be hell. I was like, that is a hell.
Imagine listening to see Austin Reeves like, I'm gonna cook this dude. Yeah, okay.
Okay. They called him Hillbilly Kobe.
It's crazy.
Like, nah, bro.
Wild. But that was a hell of a game from the Denver Outlaws. Denver Outlaws ended up picking it up. Now, somebody who was working for the Archers or who works for the Archers was telling me, like, yo, we got to figure it out on offense because, I think we're just a little too unselfish. The offensive team is just looking for I was like, yo, you guys are looking for the perfect shot rather than just taking the shot. Like, just let that thing fly. But one of my main points also was I ain't worried about you guys losing because I know you guys are going to figure it out. One team I don't know that's going to figure it out is the Carolina Chaos, though, dog. I got no damn clue if the Carolina Chaos are going to figure it out.
Did Blaze forget how to play goalie?
Oh, whoa.
Man.
Yo,
Man,
Shane,
hold
what
up. Hold up. Before we go, let me preview this damn game, guys. God damn. Y'all about to shit on people already. Listen, the
I'm
Chaos
getting ready.
get stomped on by the Whips 20-6. Aiden Carroll has 7 points, 5 goals, 2 assists. Rambo, first game he doesn't dress. Levi Anderson starts at that lefty position, 5 goals, 1 assist. What's wrong with the Chaos, bro?
I tell you what's wrong with the Chaos,
Insanely
bro.
inconsistent, seems like.
Shane, you want to go first or I'll go? Which one you
Hey, I tweeted out to LASIK. I said, hey, there's a goalie on the Carolina Chaos that needs your help. They need your help. That boy could not see the ball.
He added LASIK, by the way. He added them too.
That's so crazy.
I'm gonna tell you right
a
now.
big neon green ball.
He said, I'm like, you tweeted that, and I'm here in Baltimore looking at my phone. I'm like, God damn, Shane.
Hey, you know what happened? You know what I think happened? I think Liam Enterman gave him a glowing lacrosse ball and stole his talent.
Like
Space Jam. It made him touch the ball and stole his talent. Liam Enterman turned into a monster and stole Blaze Reardon's talent because I don't know what the hell was going on with old boy. 29%. I was looking at every shot they took on your boy that was on goal went in.
Yeah.
Levi Anderson hit one that literally skirt in my head. I was like, that's ill advised, and it still went in. I was like, that's dumb, and then it still went in. I was like, what?
It was like target practice.
And you know what I'm gonna say it. You know what I'm gonna say it. We need the sponsorship. You know what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm gonna say. They could have put an Elevate goalie in that. They could have put an Elevate goalie in. Hashtag not sponsored. You could have and you should have put an Elevate goalie on that. Paint that thing red and put them in cage, and it probably would have had more than 8 saves. I promise you.
And there's also a dude from Rutgers University who likely could have helped them out.
Bruh. So okay,
I mean,
let's shift to that side of the field. So we draft the best lefty shooter in the country named Owen Hiltz from Syracuse University.
Facts.
What are we going to do with Owen Hiltz? We're going to run him out the box as a midfielder.
Because that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could tell it was hot because Q was pissed. Q was his intrusive thoughts he probably filters when he does college games. I loved it. He was just being honest.
Oh yeah. He's like, that's a horrible shot.
Like, and he mentioned it. He's like, why would you? You don't draft Owen Hiltz to run him out of the box. Like Matt, Matt, forgive me for sending me the T-shirt. Was like, he texted me during the game? He's like, why are they running Owen Hiltz out of the box? I have no idea. What is your offense? Because again, as Scotty says, you cut Jules Hindenburg, who could have been your QB for the team. What is happening? See, Scotty's jersey Wi-Fi just messed up.
Trash Wi-Fi.
Who are we on offense? Dude. 6 goals in a PLL. Come on, man.
What are we doing
It's
here?
not even just 6. I mean, it's still one.
It is 6 though. Like all these players, that's the best y'all can come up with.
It is 6. You're right, because that's bad.
Got dominated the faceoff got too absolutely.
They got to figure that out too, because that's because at this point they can just run last. Because remember all the teams last year that were just like we're just gonna lose. That's what they're doing now.
I mean, 20-6. You got a 20-piece put on you, bro? You got a 20-piece. You set a damn record, and 2 weeks later, you get a 20-piece put on you, bro?
In fact, well, we'll say Ignacio did play well for them this specific game because they've been bad facing off. But I'm like, because that's what was crazy too, because Ignacio had a good game against arguably the second best because Trevor Baptiste is the best for in the league. But it's
Trevor Baptiste did not have a good weekend either, though. By the way,
yeah, but it's like if you face off of 50% and you still only had 6 goals.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are we doing once we touch the ball? What are we like?
Did y'all see the possession?
Why are we wasting possessions?
Did you guys see the possession? They won the face-off, and then they're playing catch at the midfield line for about 25 seconds. and then they get the ball. Then it's like, oh crap! There's only because when you win, you have a 32 seconds left. They wasted 25 seconds, and then they made one pass, and I can't remember who took the shot, but he missed it by like, and he shot it behind the cage. I'm like, this is professional offense, and I'm not nothing negative on them as human beings, but this is terrible offense.
Hey, I'll be negative. That's trash. Y'all play like trash. That whole thing was trash. You ought to be embarrassed. You look like trash. I know your families were there. I know your friends were there. Some of your wives, your girlfriends, your kids, all of them. Everybody looking at you different now. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's some folks on the Whipsnakes that showed up to the folks at the Carolina Chaos team at their front desk, at the head of their table, asking where their meal was. Say, I belong in this house now.
You got a
20-piece put on you. You only put on 6 goals. You put up 6 goals after a 20-piece? Brother, in a PLL game, you ought to be ashamed. That's crazy. 20-piece?
Look, man, it's the beauty of the league, dog. Sometimes you look like a bunch of professionals. Sometimes you look like a high school team. You know, they look, right? I and again, casual, right? You don't get on me. I haven't been.
No, we're gonna get on you. Go ahead.
Hey, I've been talking trash for a year straight. Ain't nobody get on me yet.
Look, their off season, they get like a week and a half, and like
training camp,
and then they just like roll into the season. You know, sometimes this happens. It's gonna obviously a bunch of professionals probably should not play that bad, right? You don't expect that, but it's just, hey man. Sometimes you forget how to play the game.
Nah, I can't co-sign that. That's trash. You trash. You can't play the damn game. I can't co-sign that. Here's what I'll tell you. I'll tell you this. Look, one of my homies said this to me, and I couldn't agree more. He said Cornell would have beat this Chaos team.
Oh yeah, Notre Dame would have beat that.
Oh man, that's a hard conversation, dog.
I don't care.
We almost talking about 2 different games.
No, we not.
Yeah,
we are. About a team that can handle and a team that play like trash.
Yeah, we are. Because you're talking the PLO. What the PLO plays is not even close to being the same thing as the college.
I think this year's Cornell team probably would have gave them buckets. After Blaze rating goes 29%. What man?
Who Garden Goldstein?
Hey,
dog,
I'll tell you this.
I don't know. I don't agree with that.
Is the goal at the PLL? It didn't get smaller, did it?
Boy, Jack Rowlett is eating every single player on Cornell offense alive.
Bro. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, there's levels to this, bro. Like, yeah. Like,
and Brian Goldstein at one point.
If you give the Chaos the opportunity to have the same amount of practice that the Cornell team has, the Chaos is working them every single time.
I'm taking Jack Rowlett every single
we're talking about a whole season. I'm talking about the team that just won the national championship versus this Chaos team that played on Sunday. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the same amount of resources.
It's the same thing as Alabama versus the Jets, bro. Like the Jets would work Alabama.
I don't know.
But it's just putting the best college team against the worst pro team. It's like, they're a pro team for a reason. How many of those Cornell players are going to make it to this league?
Probably a good amount of the ones that actually produce for Cornell.
Yeah, but it's like probably a good amount. Let's say 4, 5, maybe.
Sure.
Okay, but
against the 19
that's how many of the Chaos players made it to the pros.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're all pros.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
You got 5 pros versus
no. Okay,
pros.
Hold on, because you misconstrued what I'm saying. I'm not saying that a Cornell team would be able to beat Chaos all season long. I'm saying the Cornell team that we saw would have beat this Chaos game and would have beat Chaos in this game on Sunday.
I hear your hypothetical. I understand what you mean. You're taking literally the national championship game team,
correct,
versus the team from this weekend and put them against each other. I can somewhat get behind that, but I also understand their point of you have 5 pros versus 25 pros.
Agreed.
25 pros probably gonna get off, but I fully well understand. Like I agree, but it's like I'm indifferent here.
Yeah.
No, I think they would score.
They don't like to.
They would get the scoring, but they'd probably still get work.
It's I hate. I'm playing both sides now, but there was a time when the Denver Outlaws played against the Denver Pioneers, and the Denver Pioneers beat the Denver Outlaws.
Okay, then.
You see that? See,
But-
now you just gave us ammo.
And I'm giving Shane ammo.
What we doing scrimmages now? That's like when a D3 school
Why
beats
are
a
we
D
doing
or a D2 school beats a D1 in the scrimmage, and it's like they hold on to that. Like,
Yeah, but
Why would you- who set
but the
that up?
Denver Outlaws didn't show up to that game being like, we don't care. Their whole reputation on the line. They have so much more to lose in that game than the Pioneers do.
No, I posted a video about the Denver Outlaws losing to the Denver Pios, and I had a couple Denver Outlaws players from that time contact me and being like, listen, we had to get players from other teams. Like, we haven't practiced in since the end of the season. Mind you, the whole next year, the Denver Outlaws went undefeated during the regular season and lost.
Look, man, it's motivation. It's character development. You had to lose that. It gives you a little bit of an edge because now everybody's on you because you just lost to some college kids, and now it's like, see, now we got to go undefeated because they're punking us on the internet.
yeah, like in the Dream Team documentary.
Yeah,
Still claim they didn't lose, so they didn't lose to the college dudes.
see,
yeah. But what's his name? Oh man, the point guard. There was a point guard. Shit. I forget
what
the
year
point guard's name. Oh, Danny Hurley was giving him hell. Danny Hurley or Bobby Hurley was giving him hell. I heard about that.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's a good documentary for those that watch that.
That is a good documentary. All right. Now, you guys, GM moment. What would you guys do if you guys were the Chaos right now?
Joey Spallina, get ready to learn Carolina Chaos, buddy.
I second that motion.
You're not gonna think about making any trade moves,
Dude, let's tank, bro.
They already made the dumbest one of the year so far.
Dude, I'm calling him right now and say, hey, bro, like, get ready to learn Carolina Chaos, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, like,
these are the barbecue spots. I'm gonna take you to Cookout.
Trust me. Like, you're gonna get very well acquainted with the city of Charlotte. So just actually take a trip down here right now. I'll show you around right now.
Exactly.
Let's go.
And I love Spencer Ford.
Hey, you think we could get him in a jersey real quick? You think we could get him in a jersey?
Like, dude.
Picture, just a little photo op.
Would
I
you?
love Spencer Ford. I'm not saying he doesn't know. He's a great lacrosse mind, but
Something's got to give, brother.
That's not a roster that's built to win games right now.
They're
I'm surprised Jules. I'm honestly surprised Jules got.
They're a couple years away, man. They're a couple years away. They got a lot to do. And yeah, would you ever even think about trading away Blaze?
No.
For who?
For some assets.
Like,
you got
like who?
Out. Like, you know,
like
there's going to be a team that might want Blaze.
Like, I mean, I guess as bad as Blaze has the possibility to play, his upside is too much for you to be like, let me deal him for assets that are probably not as valuable.
I don't think so.
Really?
Because I think Blaze is good enough to where somebody would be like, hey, we might have to consider this because this guy is a game changer and we can use him. The Carolina, on the other hand, what's their problem? Their problem is their offense not being able to get any productivity. And now, like, if a team offers them 2 solid dudes or early draft pick, they might be able to figure it out. And also, let's look at Cal. Austin Cal is like almost a leader on that team, and he's a backup goalie. Maybe give him
Austin Cal's
I guess my thing is Blaze erased a bad game by the Chaos with 25 saves. Because, like, they didn't play great. They really did not play great in that game. Blaze was just a literal brick wall. And if he was not, they very much lose that game. I just see his upside being like, you could give him up, but I don't know. I don't see the return on investment being as good.
All right.
Like, unless you get two players in a pick and like a top 5 pick out of it, I just don't think it would be like.
I mean, it's not crazy to think you get 2 decent players in a draft pick because you're talking about the 5-time goalie of the year, bro.
That's also why it's like, why would you trade away the 5-time goalie of the year if you're a franchise?
People will do it if that's what serves their team the best.
It's true. I mean,
it's
we just
myopic.
watched the captain of a hockey team get traded at the trade deadline. So I mean, we've seen crazier stuff. We watched Luca get
absolutely,
traded.
man. I mean, hey, that would be blockbuster. That might get some eyes on the PLL too. Also, man.
Hey, man, engagement bait trade.
Hey. I mean, if we know one
That
thing
would
about
be-
the PLL, they love engagement.
Hey,
all I gotta say is last year Austin Kaut went 52% for the whole year, which isn't amazing. So basically you're saying that somebody who's, to be fair, last year Blaze Reardon went 61%. So basically you're saying that that's a lot of risk to base your team's upside on 51% on average, right? We know Blaze last year, his highest percentage was 75% versus the Cannons, 72% versus the Outlaws, and then 55, 55, 66, 63, 51, 50. Like, I think it would be crazy to trade him knowing that he can just
too much of
lock
a
it.
game.
Now,
he's too much of a game changer.
Yeah. I call this a GM moment because it's a moment you could have being a GM. And if I'm a GM, I know I'm not telling my team or having the mentality, let's tank. Like, I don't know. I ain't telling a bunch of grown ass men, hey, don't play the best you can because we got
that's the hard part.
So that's one point with me. And listen, this team looks like shit right now. Like, let's keep it up. And I'm throwing them the kitchen sink at this point because, like Brian talked about last week, 20% of the season was over.
Yeah.
And now what is it, 30 or 40% of the season? Like, a lot of the season. Time is clicking. Or time is ticking. There it is. You got it.
I think it's funny how we're just talking about Blaze and none of us give a shit about the Whipsnakes winning this game by putting 20 goals in. We're just that means they lost and Blaze sucked.
I have so much faith in that kid, Aiden Carroll. I have so much faith in that kid.
He's a dog.
Bro,
when I watched that Georgetown game against Duke, that's when I was like, yo, wait, hold on. I should have been watching this kid like all year. I really wish I'd been watching this kid all year.
Now the Whipsnakes
Nikai Montgomery said the same thing.
They might if Stags plays his cards the right way, the Whipsnakes might be the new OKC of the PLL because they might have a young roster who's ready to rock. We're talking about TJ Malone and Aiden Carroll.
Yep.
Levi Anderson.
Because there's no way
they're
pull him out
2 years, right?
And Matt Brandau
went Levi Anderson
2 years in, dog.
Yeah,
So,
you're right. That's a good comp.
If they play their cards the right way,
let them play, as we've been saying.
Let the boys play, man. And you know what's? Wait, Zed's on the waterdogs now, right?
Yeah.
So that this is another thing I'm saying about Stags, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, the man high key knows what the hell he's doing, and he gonna find a way. He's gonna find a way, but
he needs to find a way to get rid of 2 horses out of the stable.
Listen, we talked about Aiden Carroll. We talked about TJ Malone. I just saw a tweet from Kevin. He said he was asking TJ Malone. He was saying that TJ Malone is the best player in the PLL right now. And I want to ask you guys, is TJ Malone the best player in the PLL right now?
I say no.
I see it.
Are we? Man,
you can make arguments for both ways, but Brian, why do you say no?
Because it's always going to skew towards the offensive player. Do I think he's the best offensive player in the league? No. I would say Brett Dobson, Liam Entenmann, and Graham Hotsack would be right now, if you're talking about the whole body of work, I would put above him right now.
Okay, but who's the better? Okay, but who's the better offensive player right now?
I think he's the best player on the Whipsnakes. I think he's in the top 5, but I'm not taking him over Mikey Sowers. I'm not taking him over Jeff Teat. I wouldn't take him over Connor Schellenberger.
Interesting.
Now,
again, top 5 though, which is no shade.
I have a tough time because I was like, I think I would take Sowers still over TJ Malone at this point. I love the way Sowers plays, man. I think he's awesome.
Second that.
And I just think it's crazy watching him play because you got 2 dudes slide into him after making a step, dude. Like that man, Michael Sowers just opens the door for so many people. And just if hockey assists were a thing, who knows how many Michael Sowers would have at this point, right?
That's true.
So TJ Malone is beating him though in points just by 1 at this point. But I think
TJ's been like.
I think I'm still putting Michael Sowers over TJ.
I'm taking Sowers over him too.
Yeah, Sowers. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I will say TJ Malone was the best player on the field at that point, though. When I was watching that game, he was the best player on that field.
Yeah,
and I was on the sideline. I'm watching Levi make this move. He, like, as the shot clock expired, probably his last goal. It might have been his last goal. He was toying with his man on the left wing, bro, and just straight up dancing, bro. And just watching him do this thing, I was like, damn, you ain't sitting his ass no more this year, bro.
Nope.
No.
19 man the rest of the season. Somebody lost their job.
Sucks, but
it is what it is.
You got to roll the hot hand, and it's his.
No, it's absolutely wild right now in the PLL. I talked about I sent you guys a text in the chat about what it's like going to a PLL game without the California Redwoods playing. But long story short, it's so anticlimactic for me to go to a PLL weekend without the California Redwoods playing, bro.
Love my team, man. I love.
Is that your team too, Will?
Yeah, that's my squad right there.
I like it,
dude. I
ball nowhere.
Whenever the league came up, right, I was like, dude, I gotta pick a team, right? And first off, K18 was on there, and that was my guy. Love the dude, right? And then the slogan was "Roll Woods," and I'm like, that is literally all I do. That is my team now. So that's been the squad, like, yeah. And we made it to the chip, year 1, and it's kind of just been like a little painful since then. But dude, love this team. I love what we do. I love what we did having a GM now, bringing in Joe Spallina, and then bringing in Ant. I love Ant. I love that guy because he's got this team to where we play 48 minutes, dog. It's no like, we're up by 5 against the Woods now. Like I don't care about this team. They can't score. You have to play us for the whole game, and I love it. Because like last year, it was like, if we're down by like 4, we're not gonna put the ball in the net, dog.
Yeah, you're right, bro. And I was there this weekend in Baltimore, and you guys already know I get mistaken for a player all the time, probably because I'm built like a dog. All right, but tell me how.
I don't know if that's it.
Now, tell me how. Listen, there's 2 instances. A dude's like, "Hey, can we take a picture?" And then the kid after the picture goes, "I love watching you play." I was like, yo, Shane. I was like, yo, you must have been at the Heritage Cup, dog. Because I was funny. Nah,
I see me.
Let me chill. And then tell me how a security guard or like one of the a security guard. I walk in, he's like, yo, you still look like you can play. And I was like, don't make me blush, man. You know how I be. And then he goes, damn, man, I haven't seen you since you won a championship out here.
Bruh.
I said, what? Oh shit, I'm out.
Say what?
I'm out. And mind you, we're at Johns Hopkins, bro.
I would roll with it. I would just roll with it.
I'm about to act like I run this damn place, bro.
You might as dude. If they keep mistaking you for people, you might as well just stand. I'm that. You know what? I'm that dude that you're thinking about right now. 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Whoever it is,
I'll sign the autographs. Hell yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah. That was gold, man. But hey, that's all we got for today, boys. All right. Awesome episode once again. Will, You know your ball. We love having you on, dog. Thanks for joining us today, brother.
Appreciate you,
I
fam.
appreciate y'all, dog.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all. I've been watching this for a little minute, so I appreciate y'all for having me.
Let's go, man.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you.
That's a wrap from the boys. It's your boys, Will, Brian, Shane, and Scotty. Signing off. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.